Fishhook. Today we're going to sous vide the ultimate steak. I've got here almost a 1.5 pound, 1.5 thick Angus ribeye. This we're going to cook. I've got the water heated up already on my ribeye for 132. I've got my sous vide bag double sealed, and I'm ready. After I coat this and marinate this and season it up, we're going to put it in the bag. I'm going to double seal it, and then we're going to put it in the sous vide for an 1.5 hours is what the Jewel app calls for. So let's get started. We've got kosher salt. And don't be afraid to be liberal with this. It works wonders. Add it in there. The rest of the seasonings. I've got onion powder I'm going to put on here. Onion powder is great seasoning. Some garlic and black pepper. Just a pinch of it. Let's work that in there. Okay, and then some oil. And we're going to add more oil in the bag. Flip her over, and we'll do the same to the other side. Work it in, some olive oil, all right. Now that we've got it all seasoned up, we're going to put it in our sous vide bag. There we go. And remember to fold your bag over about 2 inches. You'll get a good seal. You want to get this horizontal in the bag. Let's move it around. There we go. So there she is. We'll add a little bit more olive oil. Okay. That's one. We'll back it out a little bit and put a second seal on it. And all we're going to hit is seal on this one. We're not going to re-vacuum it. Now you can season your steak with all kinds of aromatics. Sometimes I put rosemary in here. There's just so many different seasonings. You do it to your taste. But the coarse kosher salt is the ticket. It will season this and tenderize it. Now she's ready. She's been at room temperature now for about 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So she's relatively room temperature now. Pretty cool. We're gonna ease it in slowly. My water bath is already heated to 132 degrees. For my liking, that's medium rare. Put it in slowly. There's no chance of this thing floating up, it's so heavy. So now we've got the waiting game. We'll come back in 90 minutes for an 1.5 inch thick steak, fresh. It calls for 1.5 hours at 132 degrees. And in the Jewel app, you'll see degrees of doneness. They have a pictorial, which is so nice to go by, so you have an expected end. When you guys start dabbling with sous vide, you'll find out that every time the results stay the same. You can expect it. If you like medium well, it'll be medium well from one tip to the end. If you like it rare, same thing, tip to tip. No hot spot, warm in the center, and as it gets out, it gets more burned and more cooked and more cooked, like a normal barbecue. It's hard to really get even cooking. This is 100% foolproof. It will stay even cooked throughout the whole time. And now here's another thing. If I wasn't gonna have dinner for, say, another 4 hours, and I wanted to get a head start on preparing my meal, what I can do on the short-term cooking, what only takes about an hour and a half, something like that, once it hits the desired temperature, it could sit in the water if I had nothing else going in, but I'm gonna have other goodies in there as well, unless I set up additional sous vide. But if I wanna work with one, I can take it out, let it sit on the side, and then about a half hour or so before we're ready to plate, I'm gonna keep it in the sous vide bag. I'm going to reinsert it, reheat my temperature back up to 132, and let it sit in there for a good 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, if I'm done with cooking with any other items for the dinner. And the beauty of sous vide, it will not overcook. It reheats to the exact temperature. This is the beauty of sous vide and the magic of sous vide. The abilities are like no other type of cooking that I know of. If you had a steak and you cooked it and it's ready and it got cold, you wanted to reheat it, any other method other than sous vide, you'd have to put it in the oven, even if you put it at 200 degrees. Do you realize that? Or pan it up and maybe just heat it, flash it on both sides. You are reheating the steak, recooking it, and you're going to take away from medium rare. The doneness is going to get a little less. It's going to be a little bit more well done. It's not going to be that perfect pink rare, if that's what you're going for. The opposite is true of the sous vide. This is amazing what this can do. It's not the only form of cooking, but it'll revolutionize everything that you guys do. I can put it back in the water an hour, 45 minutes before dinner if I have food waiting, and I'll sit it in there at the temperature that I cooked it at. It'll only bring it up to that temperature, and it reheats it because it's an immersion, it's a bath. You're not recooking it. Just like anything else on the stove top, you put a low flame or a big flame, you're going, eventually with a low flame, the liquid will boil. It's going to get hotter and hotter. It cannot maintain. It's constantly heating and heating and heating. You're breaking down the food. So I don't want to do that. This has been a game changer for me over the last 3 or 4 years, and I'm real happy to add it to my kitchen. All right, guys, it's got signal. It's an hour and a half, and this little jewel is ready. So we'll release those snaps. And before I told you guys 132 degrees, it's 129 the setting. I'm sorry about that. 129 the setting. So we're gonna open this. We're gonna get our steak out. There we go. Oh man, it wants to fall apart. Oh yeah. It's totally cooked, but you can't really tell looking at it that it is done. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you one end. This is has a bone in here, very, very small. Alright, we're gonna go to the end here. I'm gonna show you that. Check that out. That's medium rare. And then, because I want to sear it, but I want to show you this, how it has cooked. Totally medium rare. So what we're going to do, we're going to move to the stove. I've got my grill pan heating up. We're going to make it red hot. And we're going to, and there's oil in there, and this is already seasoned enough, it's moist. We're going to hot sear it, a flash sear, 1 minute on each side. Well, there's the sear. There is the finish. Now we've got a red hot pan. We'll give it a minute on each side. That will give a nice char to seal in the flavors. Now you have the option also, before you cook it, to pre-sear it, and sometimes I do that as well, to lock in flavor. So you can do that also. Yeah, this is on high right now. Smells delicious. All right. That's what we're talking about. Give it a minute on this side. If you can smell what I'm smelling. We'll sear the sides. Yeah, you want the pan smoking hot for this. And we've got it. Now we're going to cut it and we'll give it a taste. All right, we're ready. We've got a nice char on it, nice grill marks. This is what you want. And all from your kitchen, from the convenience of your kitchen. Let's cut a piece from this end. Look at that, guys. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Oh yeah. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? This is cooked perfect. From one end to the other. Let me cut a piece here from near the bone. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? And just enough salt. It's not overpowering. I've had people ask me, man, you put so much salt on. When The salt actually breaks the meat down and tenderizes it. And the meat needs it. The flavor is so enhanced. You guys want some? I'll plate chop something. Sous vide a ribeye. And that is the ultimate way to get a perfectly cooked steak from tip to tip. No hot spots, none of that you have to deal with. And it just makes life so easy. This is going to be inhaled here in a little bit. But this is the way to do it. This is the way to cook so many different dishes. So we'll have future videos coming up where we're going to introduce vegetables. I'm going to amaze you at the things that I can do just using the sous vide. How needed a tool that is in every one of your kitchens. Guys, thanks for hanging out for the video. I hope it was interesting. I hope you guys were entertained. And I hope you learned something. Sous vide is the next evolution in cooking in the kitchen. Just brings it to another level. Well, guys, we're going to get back to making more videos, more content, and we will see you on the next one. So thanks so much.